is an insane amount of drama between Kevin Durant and Denver Nugget Nation going on right now, and I want to give you 4 reasons why the backlash at KD is pretty extremist and pretty illogical in the leaps that it makes, in the assumptions it has around where KD is coming from and what he truly believes about Jokic. I think it's rooted in some insecurities that are kind of on full display right now from Denver and a lot of Jokic stans. Really quick, I just want to paint a metaphor why I think that if you put this in a different context, maybe even Denver people can understand why it seems insane. Imagine if Kawhi Leonard and Paul George actually won a title for the Clippers, go on Paul George's podcast and make some jokes about Laker Nation, and then Laker Nation goes on to start comparing Paul George's career to LeBron James. And it's like, dude, they're clearly just trolling you because you are technically a part of their base, but you did not want them to win at all. And so you kind of just look really insecure and hateful. Number 1, though, is what he actually said was 3 words, one of which was abbreviated with 2 question marks. I don't want to get too deep into digital semantics here, but I think multiple question marks or exclamation points, that's like the international Batman symbol of I'm joshing or I'm trolling. So I read that to begin with, and it was like received as if he literally wrote a 1,500-word paper about why Jokic sucks and he's way better than him. Leads me to my second point, which is a lot of people responded to that, making the illogical leap from him targeting and trolling that subset of Americans who are rooting against him and Team USA to him targeting Jokic, which is just nonsense. He's clearly just talking about and clarified today in his tweet that he was by no means addressing Jokic or even remotely referring to him whatsoever. It just was the fact that he happens to have a lot of fans in the US who KD represents, and then those fans were actively rooting against Team USA. So he was trolling the fans, not Jokic, but Jokic's stans still went ahead and made very, very personal attacks on him and his tweeting preferences and his career and his on-court accomplishments. Like, yo, I do not think he by no means was trying to even open up that can of worms at all. All he did was come at one dude who was a notorious Denver Nugget content creator saying, "Where are you from?" Obviously knowing he was American. Why are you not rooting for Team America? Had nothing to do with Jokic, had nothing to do with Jokic's career or any sort of comparisons, but of course that's what ended up happening. Which leads me to number 3, which I truly believe everybody, and I mean everybody, can agree. Kevin Durant has sacrificed and invested so much into the sport and league that I don't think it's rational to genuinely believe that KD has anything against Jokic's accomplishments, talents, impact, success, all of it. I don't think it's rational to think that the guy loves, cares about, admires the sport as much as he does, but just not for this one specific guy who is a 3-time MVP and is clearly the best player on the planet, would make one specific exception to hating on Jokic specifically. It just doesn't make sense to me. I'm sure Kevin Durant has the respect that a fellow accomplished colleague would have in this field of study or field of work. Last but not least, I don't think there's any reason that KD would even want that dialogue to begin in comparing him and Jokic one-on-one, because I don't think he thinks he would win. I don't think anybody is trying to argue with you about that. I think you just wanted to argue that and kind of make up material in order to revisit the argument of Jokic being the best player in the world and making up some idea or concept that KD is intimidated by Jokic or doesn't respect him or something. That dude tweeted 3 words and was only coming at clearly the Americans who are rooting against him. Nothing to do with his colleague in Nikola Jokic. This comes off to me as extremely insecure, extremely hateful, and it's almost like you want this kind of bone to be picked so that you can go unearth and argue this whole merry-go-round of why Jokic is the best player in the world, as if somebody is arguing against that. I just don't think you guys are going about this the right way. KD's been a troll for a while, and nobody would argue against Jokic being this good. and the whole patriotism with the magnificent comeback, and KD's might not even be in the next Olympics. Like, the guy is definitely feeling himself, which is why he started off trolling to begin with, and you really just gave him exactly what he wanted, and you kind of made yourself seem like a very insecure, pretty irrational fan base or stan base.